Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sun Can Be Fun. I'm Jenna Sistad with the Ocean Monmouth Health Alliance, our region's Cancer and Chronic Disease Prevention Coalition. Today, joining me here is Chantel James from the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey, and she's going to be taking us through a discussion about skin cancer prevention. Welcome, Chantel.
Well, thank you so much, Jenna, for having me. We're so excited about this partnership. And so I'm happy to be here today to share the skin cancer awareness.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it.
Yes. Okay.
What is skin cancer? Can you just talk to us a little bit about skin cancer in general?
Yeah, of course. So skin cancer is really the uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells. And those cells, it happens within the epidermis, which is the top layer of your skin. So if you look at the picture on the left, it shows like what the normal skin looks like. And then it looks, then you see the skin breaking where the cells multiply when they shouldn't. And so this multiplication of the cells really happen within your skin at the top. This picture on the right really shows the top layer where it's your epidermis, and then it shows your dermis. So that's really what skin cancer is at its core.
Okay, all right, let's dive a little deeper.
Okay.
Why do we need to know about skin cancer? Why is it important for all of us?
So there's so many different reasons why we should be aware of skin cancer. There's a lot of misconceptions of people of color and not being as proactive in sun safety because they may feel as though their skin tone prohibits them from skin cancer. So it's really good to know that people of all skin tones can develop skin cancer. Actually, about 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime, which is a lot of people. So a lot of people right now are being diagnosed with skin cancer, and it's really good to know so that you can prevent skin cancer from happening to you, and you can do the necessary things on a day-to-day basis to make sure that you're preventing skin cancer.
Wow, those stats are alarming. So this is definitely important information. What are the most common types of skin cancers? Wow, for those who don't even realize that there are multiple types.
Yes, so there are 2 categories. So there's melanoma, and then there's non-melanoma skin cancers. So the non-melanoma skin cancers is basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, Merkel cell carcinoma, which is a little less rare than the others. And then there's melanoma category. So melanoma is actually the deadliest kind of skin cancer. It is the kind that's responsible for most of skin cancer deaths. And then you can actually see the picture of each one and what it actually looks like. Basal cell carcinoma is the most common type. So a lot of people are diagnosed with the non-melanoma type of skin cancers, but they're easily detected very early. Once they're detected early, then they can do the necessary treatment to get rid of them. But melanoma actually, it can grow very rapidly and spread very fast. And so that's the difference between the kind of skin cancers based on the category, melanoma and then the non-melanoma. And then it's very, very, very common for skin cancer. Skin cancer is actually the most common type of cancer. And a lot of people don't really know that. It's just that so many people are diagnosed and then they detect them and then they get rid of them. So yeah.
Treatable, it can be treatable, which is why this information is so important.
Yeah.
Right. So you talked a little bit about the melanoma already, but here I see some new pictures. So can you talk to us a little bit more about the melanoma?
Yes, so melanoma is really the malignant cells that form in the melanocytes, which is a a cell that's in your epidermis. So this is the cell that's responsible for when you get that nice tan or when your skin changes colors. So that's kind of where they get the name from. But melanoma, it shows in a picture here, it is in fact the deadliest. You can see the difference. So the picture shows all three types. It shows basal cell, squamous cell, and then it shows melanoma. And you can see that melanoma is going a little bit deeper than the other cancers. And if you look at the picture to the lower left, it shows where melanoma is spreading to the lymph node, to the blood vessels. So this is just a picture to show you that just one little mark on your skin, it may look like, you know, it's nothing, but it shows you what can actually happen from that one little spot, that it can get very deadly really quick. But that's why we're having this conversation today, is to make sure you know about this. And then the picture on the right shows you what it actually looks like when it's on your skin. So it's dark, you know, changing colors, you know, we'll go over the rest of that. But this is a little bit more about melanoma.
Great, great. So talk to us about the risk factors here related to skin cancer.
Yes, absolutely. So there are risk factors where some people are more at risk than other people. And some of these things are preventable and some of them are not. So family history, you don't really have control over that, but it's good for you to know if you do have a family history of skin cancer. So some of the other things that, you know, you can prevent is excessive sun exposure. So we know the UV rays, very harmful. It's a major risk factors for most melanomas. If you have skin that just burns, you know, if you're of an older age, if you have just a history of burns during your childhood, you've been out in the sun a lot and you burned a lot when you were a child. Those are some of the things you want to think about. If you just have a lot of moles, you have more than 50 moles, atypical moles, you want to pay attention to those because some melanomas can develop from moles. If you have fair complexion, weak immune system, some people take medications that suppress their immune system. So just those little things to pay attention to. Arsenic comes from, you know, tobacco and the use of tanning beds. You definitely want to refrain from the use of tanning beds. That's so extremely important because people who use tanning beds are exposed to the UV rays. So not only tanning beds, but also the suntan lamps as well. So anything that's projecting that artificial light or the UV rays is very bad for your skin. So you want to make sure you're refraining from those so you're not at that high increased risk of skin cancer.
Yes, definitely. Knowing the risk factors can help us to know
Yeah,
how to prevent some of this stuff. So
of
talk
course.
to us about the warning signs. So some of us may have those moles that you mentioned and not necessarily be experts on the ones that are good versus the ones that are bad. So what are some of these signs that we should look for?
Yeah, definitely. So some of the warning signs and you know, there can be normal moles. So a normal mole would normally look, you know, round and dark. And as we saw in the picture in melanoma, it looks like it's changing colors. It looks like, you know, it has a little bit red patches, or it may be something that you're just seeing, it's growing over time. Um, the spot is changing. It was a small little dot, and then now a couple of months later, you realize it's getting larger. It's not going away, or you have like this sore that just won't go away on your skin. It's bleeding, it's peeling, it's scaly. Just some of these things to be aware of as a warning sign. If you feel like it's something that's suspicious, you definitely want to follow up with your doctor, whether it's your primary or your primary would then give you a referral to go to your dermatologist if it's something, you know, serious.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you did. You mentioned these A, B, C, D to me. Can you take us through this? Because this is really helpful for folks to remember easily.
Yes, this is like the staple of prevention and prevention of skin cancer and melanoma. So the ABCD rule is very catchy. And if you don't remember anything else today, this will be what we want you to remember and apply every single day. So when you look at your skin, you want to look at it, if you see a mole or see a spot, is it asymmetrical? Does one half match the other half? If it doesn't match the other side, it means that the edges are just not lined up. Border, is the border irregular? Is it jagged? You know, because the regular moles is just like round. So you want to pay attention to the border. The color, is the color uneven? It has some spots of pink, red, brown, just uneven skin color. Diameter, is it growing in size? This is more than, it has a picture of an eraser here. The eraser is a good benchmark to use to see, okay, is it larger than my eraser? Is it getting larger than that point, you know, from a couple of weeks ago when I looked at it? Is the diameter changing? And then is it evolving? Again, is it coming from like a little tiny dot? And then next thing you know, it's increasing in size. So you want to apply the ABCD rule of melanoma to be able to detect melanoma and prevent skin cancer for sure.
Excellent. Asymmetry, border, color, diameter, and if it evolves. Great.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you mentioned earlier that some of these things can be addressed. So how do we treat, if at all, melanoma or other skin cancers?
Yes, so melanoma can be treated. However, treatment also depends on the stage. So it's important to weigh the benefits of treatment options to see if it's what's best for you at, you know, at the stage that it is. So early stage melanomas can often be treated with surgery alone, but more advanced type of cancers may require other treatments. So this is where the team will be able to help you, you know, with treatment. Your doctors will be able to help you with the best form of treatment. And here at the Cancer Institute, we have wonderful team members to be able to assist anyone that has a diagnosis of melanoma. But it's really hard to say because it all depends on the stage that it's in. But what we need to know today is that it is in fact treatable. We want to be able to catch it at a very early stage so that, you know, we can kind of get rid of it and make sure that you're your healthiest self at best at all times.
Very good. And so let's stay encouraged and let's stay informed and let's stay educated on how we can address some of this.
Yes.
And so here we talk about prevention, and it seems like there's a lot of ways we can prevent some of this. So can you talk to us about that?
Absolutely. So I have this quote that says, the sun can be fun when you lather up. Okay, so lather up in sunscreen. So there's like a catchy phrase, slip, slop, slap, and wrap. So you want to slip on protective clothing. You want to make sure that you're protecting yourself. You know, if you want to wear some long sleeve, I know it can be hot outside, but whatever you have to do to make sure that you're preventing skin cancer, and go ahead and slap that sunscreen on. You want to use SPF 30 and above. And then you want to make sure that it's broad spectrum. So when you go to the store, you want to make sure it says broad spectrum. That's important because it protects against the UVA rays and the UVB rays. So it makes it a broad spectrum coverage. Also, don't forget about your lips. You want to make sure that you're putting on that lip balm that has that SPF. So, you know, go the further mile to look for the lip balm with the SPF in it. It really helps. And also with sunscreen, most important part is the reapplication of sunscreen. A lot of people may put it on and they may be sweating, or they may be involved in sports on a beach, or maybe it's not even on the beach. So it's you know, every day. So you want to make sure you're reapplying that if you're exposed to the sun a lot for that day. And then also you want to seek shade, so that, you know, you put on your hat, you slap on your hat, or you put on your shades, whatever you need to do to protect yourself. Seek shade if you have to. If you realize there's a tree over here and you've been in the sun for a few minutes already, and wherever you can to make sure that you're not exposed and that you're doing what you need to do on a daily basis to minimize your risk for skin cancer.
Slip, slop, slap, and wrap. I love that.
Yes.
What about in the winter time? So these pictures show, snow in the background. Do we need sunscreen for, the months that aren't summer or spring?
Yes, so absolutely. So it says here that the temperature outside does not stop the harmful UV rays. So remember that it's the UV rays that's the component here. So if the sun is out, regardless of the season, you would need to protect your skin all year round. So you see the picture of her applying sunscreen. Actually, the best way to apply sunscreen is to apply it 20 to 30 minutes before you get outside, so that it kind of soaks into your skin. It's already started working. And then once you get out, then you'll be protected and be good. So yes, all year round, you want to protect your skin all the time. It even comes through your windshield when you're driving. So it reflects from the sand. The UV rays are the strongest, between the time of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So if you want to be sun smart, you can also check the UV index to see how hot it is for the day. There's different things that you can do to protect yourself regardless of the season. Just know that you should always protect your skin all year round, regardless of whether or not it's sunny and you're at the beach or you're just driving to work.
Okay, so it makes sense now why some of our skincare products that we use on a daily basis that are not necessarily sunblock have sunblock in them. So like
Yeah,
my
like makeup.
lotion
Like
and makeup,
has it.
yeah.
Makeup
Okay.
has SPF in it as well, and also like some detergents have SPF factor in it to wash your clothes in. Like there's so many different options. You just have to find what works best for you to protect your skin.
Okay, noted. We have to make sure we wear sunblock even when we're outside in the winter months. What
Yes.
about screening? So a lot of what Ocean Monmouth Health Alliance does and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey, we all promote screenings in the community for our families that we serve. Can you talk to us a bit about some of the methods we might use to make sure that we're keeping ourselves sun safe?
Yes. So I always say that you are the advocate for your own health. And you have to look at your skin, for one, to see what's going on, what are the changes, the ABCD rule, remember? And so if you see something, you want to do a visual examination on your own self. You want to see, is this an area of concern or not? So when you see that, you can bring it up to your physician to get that screening. So you can get a clinical examination. You see in the picture here on the right where the doctor is looking closer at that skin, looking closer at that mark, so that they can kind of detect, if it's something that's cancerous or not. Sometimes they do the skin biopsy if they think that it's a suspicious type of area that needs to be biopsied. But I always say screening starts with us. You have to be paying attention to what's going on with your health, with your skin. Look everywhere. You see in a picture on the left, you see the guy looking in the mirror, or he's using another mirror looking at the side, or you may have a partner that wants to look at the back of your skin's areas that you can't necessarily see. So that's important for screening. There's a lot of resources for screening. Definitely want to connect with your dermatologist. If you don't have a dermatologist, you can seek that service from your primary, and then you'll get the necessary referral to go ahead to continue with those screenings as well.
And the wonderful thing about Chantel and I working with these amazing community organizations is that we have access to some of these partners, right? If you need a primary care doc, we can help you out. If you need a specialist, we can help you out. So we'll share our contact information at the end.
Okay, absolutely.
And so we've talked a lot about the skin types and those that can be affected by skin cancer. Can you talk to us a little bit about the population that we should be paying close attention to?
Yes, so absolutely. So although all skin tones can get some skin cancer, there are some people that are more at risk than others. So from the research, we see that the population that's more at risk are particularly white males above the age of 50. But we're seeing that the incidence rates are going up for people of color for skin cancer. So the picture on the left says late stage melanoma diagnosis are more preventable among the Hispanic and the Black patients because we're seeing a rise that's happening specifically within that demographic. So there's something called hidden melanomas. So what's happening is people of color are getting these melanomas within these areas that you would never think to check. You would never think to check your nails. You would never think to check the back of your ears. And those are the places you want to make sure you're lathering up, like all of these places that you would never think to check. So specifically people of color, we're seeing an increase rate because they're getting these melanomas in these hidden places. So the picture here shows melanoma in the nail. It shows melanoma on the toe, on the back, on the bottom of their feet. And so these are some of the things to look out for those hidden places with the population that's being affected. So although the most people who are diagnosed with skin cancer is particularly white males that are above the age of 50, we see that the survival rate for melanoma is less for people of color. So think about that. You know, that just means that people of color, we're detecting it at a later stage. So if we can detect it at an early stage, then that will be great for preventing it. And then when you detect it at an early stage, it increases the survival rate specifically for people of color. And I have a picture here of Bob Marley. A lot of people don't know that this popular Jamaican singer died from skin cancer at the early age of 36. So if he had detected that earlier, you know, we would still be enjoying his music today. We would still, you know, have him as someone that, you know, people enjoy music for. So this is just for us to bring awareness to all people that skin cancer can affect everyone, regardless of, you know, who's affecting it the most, but who's actually dying the most. It's people of color. Because they're detecting it at a later stage. So we want to change that. We want to make a change within our communities so we can be happier and healthier and live longer lives. And that's what we want to drive home to you today.
Yeah, you know, who would have ever thought that you would find skin cancer on your underneath or on your nails? I mean, people don't know what they don't know. And so here we are today helping to spread the message. Okay, so we talked about a lot of great things today. If nothing else, we'll remember the A, B, C, D, E. And here are some more resources. Can you talk to us about the websites or the resources that we can go to obtain some more info?
Yes, absolutely. So if you go to CINJ.org, there's a screenshot here on the left that shows Skin Cancer Resource Center. So it has a lot of skin cancer information on CINJ.org. And also on the right, it's a screenshot of cancer.gov. You want to make sure that, you know, wherever you're getting your information from, they're from government websites, they're from organizations that's reputable organizations. So I also have cdc.gov as well. And so you can look for this information on your web, but definitely you want to stick to those organizations that will give you accurate information, such as those government websites, CINJ.org, cancer.gov, and Ocean Mammoth Alliance, right? Organizations that, you know, will give you more information if you're seeking help. I also want to say that we also have navigators as well. With CINJ, we have navigators that can help people that have barriers to screening. If you need to schedule an appointment to see a dermatologist and maybe you don't have a ride. Just those little community barriers that you may face, we have navigators as well that can assist with people who need the extra help to get the screenings that they need. But yeah, definitely go to those websites and find us online. You can also find the Community Outreach and Engagement team, which is the team that I'm a part of, to reach out if you need more education about skin cancer. But thank you so much, Jenna, for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chantel, for being here with us. We thank you. We thank Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. And as you mentioned, visit CINJ.org, or you can find Ocean Monmouth Health Alliance on Facebook at Ocean Monmouth Health Alliance. And we're so thankful. We're really excited to share this information, and we're going to kick off to a great summer by sharing this video with the community. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.